Oh, hello.
Good evening. Having an isolation party on my own. Cheers.
Cheers. Happy
Cheers.
whatever day of the week it is you watch this.
Delish. Right. As per a couple of requests for this one, Heather Bonney being one, and Dan Bettinson being the second, we're going to make toad in the hole. Classic British dinner. We're also going to make an onion gravy. So I've got these lovely Jolly Hog sausages.
Our favourite sausages.
Adam and I have really got into Jolly Hog. They are now our favourite sausages.
We love Jolly Hog, so Jolly Hog, send me a sausage. Send me a sausage. Send me a sausage. Send me a...
These are their extra long, smoky flavoured pork hot dog sausages. I had a delicious apple and black pudding the other day, but we're going to try with these. So, sausage into your dish that you're going to make your toad in the hole.
Toad in the hole.
Into the dish, separate out like that. Obviously, if you're using different sausages, you can fit a few more in, but this is what we've got, so that's perfect. Into that,
Squeeze a sausage in.
I'm going to add a little bit of oil. You can use sunflower oil. We've only got olive oil, but it's a light olive oil, so it's fine. These are now going to go into the oven to brown. The excess oil that comes out of the sausages and the oil that we've added in will then help to cook the Yorkshire pudding. So into an oven about 180. So then, other than the sausages, our other ingredients that we've got are, for the batter mix, we've got plain flour, a couple of eggs, milk, and the scales again. We've got a mixing bowl to make the batter. Then over here we've got a couple of red onions, a couple of white onions, trusty Marmite again for the gravy, stock cube, and I've actually got some Cheats minced garlic, just because we've run out of fresh garlic. First of all, we're going to get the gravy on, because it needs to develop flavour. So in a pan, I've just got some butter, and we're going to put a slug of olive oil in, as we always do, so that the butter doesn't burn. And we're going to put that onto a low heat. So with our onions, again, those of you that didn't watch the first episode, we're going to take the onion, cut it in half, peel off the outer layer, cut off the taily end, and then we're going to leave that on. Now for an onion gravy, I actually think that it's better to be sliced. We're going to leave the bum on, and then we're just going to rock motion. We're going to just finely slice the onion, so we get half moon slices down to the end, and that's fine. So just like that, and we're just going to put that to a side, and we're going to repeat with all the onions. So we've now chopped up our onion, and our butter and oil are now nicely melted. So I'm just going to tip those in.
Straight onto the wood.
Into there. So into that, we're then also going to add a pinch of salt, which will help to draw out the moisture in the onion and make it sweat quicker. So while those reduce down over there, we're going to now get our mixing bowl. We're going to weigh out 140 grams of plain flour. That's going to go in there, with also a little pinch of salt. So into this, we're going to get a whisk. We're going to make a little bit of a well, which is just a hole in the middle. And then we're going to crack our eggs into it. There we go. And then we're just going to give it a bit of a stir, break up the yolks, and start to work the flour in. You can see how the flour is coming in from the outside. So you'll then get to this sort of stage. We're now going to weigh out our milk. So we don't own a measuring jug. So a good trick, if you don't own a measuring jug but you do have scales, is that millilitres is basically exactly the same as grams. So I've just done 175. For this kind of thing, it's absolutely fine to do it this way. If you're doing something that's much more specific in terms of baking, don't risk it. So then we're going to add our 175ml into here, bit at a time. And a little bit more, in about thirds. Okay, when it gets to this point, you want to give it a good beat to try and get rid of some of those lumps. This is obviously a Yorkshire pudding recipe, so So you can also use it for simple Yorkshires in a roast. Although for an actual Yorkshire, for a normal, Yorkshire in a muffin tin, I would potentially say that with the 175 milk, I would go half milk to water. It just makes for a lighter batter. When you're doing toad in the hole though, you do want that like density from your Yorkie. Everything's nicely incorporated. That can then sit. You can make Yorkshire pudding mix or pancake mix, which is effectively what it is. You can make that the day before and it can sit in the fridge with cling film on it, or you can make it a couple of hours before, especially when you're doing a roast. Just to give you an update, our onions are sweating away in here.
Let me have a look. Whoa, look at them.
Sweating away nicely. We're going to leave them a bit longer.
So, for uneducated minds like myself,
Yes.
because chefs often do this and they talk about sweating,
Yeah.
they're obviously not taking the onion to the gym.
No. It's a form of cooking of an onion, which is effectively, or a leek, or anything that produces a bit of water, and then the water makes the item you're cooking shrink almost, and go melty and soft and tender and yummy and quite sweet.
That has to be on a low heat.
Yeah, so low heat and the salt really helps to draw out that moisture. So yeah, that's what we're
Nice.
doing to the onions. Our onions are now looking like this,
Let's have a look.
quite jammy and soft. So at this point I'm going to add in a nice level tablespoon of minced garlic. If you haven't got the minced garlic, I would say that's probably about 3 cloves minced up like we did on the bolognese. So put the coarse salt on, mash it up. Then we're also going to add our Marmite in now. Nice tablespoon. I got in trouble for using my finger the other day, so there we go. That's in there like that. So that will just melt through. Then we're going to put in our stock cube. I like the Knorr little stock cubes. We're using beef for the sausages, but I find they're really useful and they're really delicious. So that's then all in there. We're going to fill that with water and pop it back on the heat. So we basically put in enough water from where the onions were. It's just covering the onions basically. Say it's probably about 500 mils of water, 250 to 500 mils of water. We're going to put it back on the heat and reduce it down on a slightly higher heat. So I've gone for a medium heat, and it will probably take 15 to 20 minutes to reduce to what we want. So now we need to check on our sausages. We've got our sausages out. They're quite brown now, if you can just see.
Lovely.
There's a nice bit of oil in there. And then we're just going to pour in and around. So go round the edge first. And then just in between the sausages.
And like a Yorkshire, will that rise up?
Fingers crossed. So that then goes back into the oven for about 20 minutes on a nice high heat. If you were cooking in the bottom of the oven, you need to now move this up to the top. So you want your oven to now be on about 200, 210, so that the Yorkie really takes form and it puffs up. We're now just going to check on our onion gravy and finish that off.
Look at that.
It's thickened up. It's reduced down by about half. It's looking good. It smells delicious. So a trick of the trade at this point, you get a knob of butter and mix it in. So this can be for any gravy or sauce. You'll get that really lovely sheen, and also butter acts as an emulsifier, which basically means that the sauce should thicken even more. So just mix that in, get a nice sheen on it, and then that's then ready to go. It can just be reheated later. You can serve your toad in the hole with some vegetables of your choice. So we might do ours with some tender stem broccoli and peas and delicious onion gravy. And I'll show you the Yorkshire in a minute. We have left our Yorkshire toad in the hole in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes for 2 people. It's gone so crispy.
Shall we have a
Have a
look?
little look.
Da da da.
So that's nice squidgy bit. This is all nice and hard around the edge. It's bubbled right up around the sausages. It's looking and smelling delicious.
Look at that. Boyaka, boyaka. Boyaka, boyaka.
So we're gonna go and enjoy ours, and hopefully you guys will cook it and enjoy it as much as we do.
And if you do cook any of this stuff,
Oh yes,
take a picture, tag us in it,
it's my
and also keep
ad man there.
sending requests.
Yes, keep sending requests. My next plan is vegan. So I'm going to be doing a miso aubergine for a friend, Harriet, who is a vegan. But keep sending requests. We'll see you soon. Bye.